We welcome you to MCTV Baseball, where the Mifflin County Huskies are going to be hosting the Mount Union Trojans. Hello, everybody. My name's Aiden Stevens. We're going to have a great game on our hands here at Capolias Field on this beautiful Friday afternoon. Mifflin County's won their last two games. They're on a two-game winning streak and trying to make it three here, getting revenge on the Trojans from Mount Union. Beat them last season 3-1 here at Capolias Field. Very rarely do you see two teams play once a season at the same stadium in back-to-back years. You usually see them alternate. But Mountain Union said they want to play here. They like this field. I like this beautiful field here, just underneath the hill heading up to the high school, right beside the junior high school. Coaches and captains are meeting right at home plate right now. Be Evan Strohecker and Ray Hoppel for Mifflin County. Mifflin County throwing an arm we haven't seen all season at the likes of number 14, Liam Schaefer. There's a four-seam slider, curveball, and changeup. That'll be the four pitches we'll see out of him. And another very important key for the Huskies, the three-hitter, Jaden Smith, makes his season return after getting a 6-game suspension in the District 6 championship game. So it'll be nice to see Jaden Smith, a guy who has a lot of power, can get on base consistently. It'll be nice to see him back in the lineup. He'll be hitting third behind Strohecker and Weaver. The lineup today for your Mifflin County Huskies, it'll go Strohecker, Weaver, Strohecker playing center, Weaver playing second, Smith at first. It'll be Leister batting for the pitcher in the 4 spot. Shirey is going to play shortstop. Lepley is going to be behind the plate in the 7 spot. Lepley in the 6 spot. Rubel in the 7, Chris Stein in the 8, and Beamer will be hitting in the 9. We're going to have the starting lineups, national anthem. Don't go anywhere. You're watching MCTV Baseball.
District is a tobacco-free zone. No smoking or tobacco products of any kind are permitted on the premises. Sportsmanship is an expectation here at Mifflin County, and fans are expected to do 3 things. Let the players play, let the coaches coach, and let the umpires call today's game. Any fan who interferes with today's game will be asked to leave. And now for the starting lineups. First for Mount Union, coached by Tim Hicks and assisted by Ryan McGonigal, George Goodling, Ron Blair, Jeff Brown, and Kyle Averton. Leading off and playing center field, number 11, Nathaniel Collins. Batting second and playing second base, number 9, Parker Snyder. Batting third and playing first base, number 17, Levi Hunsinger. Batting cleanup and pitching, number 3, Jamin Rank. Batting fifth, the catcher, number 18, Abe Wyrick. Batting sixth and playing shortstop, number 5, Maddox Hobbs. Batting seventh and playing third base, number 15, Ramir Smith. Batting eighth and playing right field, number 21, Ethan Covert. And batting ninth and playing left field, number 10, Mason Swaller. And now for your Mifflin County Huskies. Leading off, senior center fielder, number 23, Evan Strohecker. Batting second, senior second baseman, number 27, Madden Weaver. Batting third, senior first baseman, number 21, Jaden Smith. Next up, sophomore pitcher, number 14, Liam Schaefer, and the designated hitter today is senior number 44, Chase Leister. Batting fifth, a junior playing shortstop, number 15, Carl Shirey. Batting sixth, senior catcher, number 11, Easton Lepley. Batting seventh, senior third baseman, number 17, Lincoln Rubel. Batting eighth, senior right fielder, number 4, Reese Christine. Joel Beamer. The Huskies are coached by Ray Hobble and assisted by Brett Leister, Daniel Kokendorfer, and Jeff Kanegi. The umpires for today's game are Tim Plank and Cale Steinley. At this time, would you please rise, if you are able, and place your right hand over your heart for the playing of our national anthem. Good luck to both teams.
Lineups are introduced, the anthem's been played, and we're ready to play some baseball. On the bump for the Huskies is going to be sophomore making his first start at the high school varsity level, number 14, Liam Schaefer. Like we said, Schaefer has a 4-pitch mix. There we saw the curveball right there. Mifflin County's played 3 games already this week. This will be the 4th. So Mifflin County's going to have a lot of new arms in this game. Don't expect to see Parker Crownover, Chase Hartung, maybe see Hartung in relief, but you won't see Madden Weaver. You won't see some big arms. You might see Rubel, you might see Shirey. Those are the names that have popped up for the Huskies about possibly throwing. But nonetheless, first pitch is about ready to get underway. Schaefer's first batter of the game is going to be number 11, Nasir Collins, center fielder. There's a lot of speed and contact. And if you see him get on first, he's more than likely going to take second. When we return, first pitch, don't go anywhere. You're watching MCTV Baseball. So it'll be Schaefer versus Collins. Schaefer making his first varsity start. And as we like to say, the Trojans are throwing their ace, their best pitcher. Trojan dugout getting loud here to start this evening. The key for the Huskies is to keep the energy up and put the ball in play. Mifflin County has 46 strikeouts on the season compared to only 9 walks. But nonetheless, the Huskies looking to try and get their 3rd straight win. They're coming off 2 straight wins. Mifflin County beat Cedar Cliff here on Monday. And then Wednesday, they looked really well offensively, had over 10 hits, 6 runs. Lepley had about a 380-foot double. Could have been more, but nonetheless, that's in the past. The time is 4:14. We are ready for first pitch. Both teams getting loud in support of their team. Here comes the first pitch to Collins. That one high for ball 1. Time of first pitch, 4:14. Schaefer The 1-0 sets. That one's also high. 2-0's the count. Here comes the 2-0. Takes strike one. Works it back to a 2-1 count. Here comes the 2-1. Takes ball on the inside part of the plate. Looked like it got a part of it to me, but I'm not an umpire. Collins with a lot of speed. Expect him to take off if he gets on first. The 3-1, Schaefer. Right down the middle. That'll be fouled out of play. First souvenir. Count is full. The count is full. Schaefer v. Collins. The payoff. Take strike three on the outside corner. He struck him out for the first strikeout of the game. 1 up, 1 down for the sophomore. So stepping into the box for the Trojans, second baseman Parker Snyder swings through strike one. 0-1 count. Oh, one out. That one. Slider didn't locate the zone. We'll have ones across the board. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Second batter. Schaefer through a third inning. Already has a strikeout. That one just missed the corner. 2-1's the count. 2-1 count. Schaefer's already battled out of a 3-1 to get the strikeout. That one hit back up the middle. Hits off of Schaefer. Weaver throws over to Smith, who's making his return. First out of the inning. Or second out of the inning. Now batting, Levi Hunsinger. Takes strike one. Two-sided sword on that one. 0-1's the count. Curveball. Froze him there. 0-2's the count. Schaefer looking to get 3 up, 3 down in commanding fashion. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. He did not strike him out. Was early. Lepley was able to walk it off. Oh, 2 still the count. To Hunsinger. Swings through strike 3 in the dirt. 3 up, 3 down for the Huskies. Schaefer is hyped. We're through a half inning. No base runners. Don't go anywhere. You're watching MCTV Baseball. Jamin Rank on the bump for the Trojans. Mifflin County, and I believe Mount Union also believes that this is their best pitcher. So Mifflin County once again going up against a team's best pitcher. This has happened 3 of the last 4 games. But he's got to lead off against the red-hot Huskies offense. They're averaging 6.5 runs a game over their last 2. They scored 6 in their first 4. They've scored 13 in their last 2. Now coming up to the plate, All-State second-team senior center fielder, Evan Strohecker. Strohecker hitting around 400 on the season. The mic isn't picking it up, but the energy in the dugout is most certainly there. Comes the first pitch, sets and fires. Takes ball 1 low. Rank sets, fires. Takes strike 1. 1-1 count to the center fielder. Sets, fires. Takes outside. 2-1's the count. Strohecker knows his zone so well. Unless it's right where he wants it, he isn't going to swing at it. That one hit up the middle for a base hit in between the 5-6 hole. And Mr. Single gets himself on base once more. And we know Strohecker has a lot of speed. He can definitely score. Or definitely set. Now up Madden Weaver to the plate. Strohecker, over his last 2 games, has hit 800. 4 for his last 5. Weaver squeezes a bunt down the third base line. The play at first, he's safe by a good margin. The dugout is loud. And now coming up the plate, senior first baseman making his first plate appearance of the season, Jaden Smith. I think the dugout might, not actually, but in a not real sense, the dugout might blow up if Smith gets a RBI here. If it goes over the fence, there will be no more dugout. Sets, fires, takes strike 1. Oh, 1 to the senior first baseman. Leister pinch hitting for the pitcher on deck. That one's outside. 1-1's the count. First and second, nobody out. Senior first baseman making his first appearance of the season. That one fouled out of play. One hops right into a fan's glove. 1-2 count to Smith. First and second. Leister on deck. Shirey in the hole if we get there. That one hit right field. Right into a glove. There's no tag anywhere. Everybody's safe. Smith with a good cut. Just found a glove. Unlucky. So now a double play would end the inning. Good hit. Good way to defend there in a 1-2 count. Hit at the opposite field, just right to the right fielder. So now Leister comes up to the plate. Leister hits one. 6, 4, 3 in time for the double play. That's how the inning ends. Mifflin County leaves 2 on with nobody out. Nobody moves anywhere. Don't go anywhere. You're watching MCTV Baseball. Welcome back to MCTV Baseball. If you're just joining us, Mifflin County left 2 on base in the bottom half of the inning. But the Huskies, usually if you have a double play, it's a mood deflator, we left 2 on base. But with the first inning Schaefer had, this team gets behind them. There's a lot to look forward here in this team. It's pitcher v. pitcher. Rank comes up to the plate. They're getting out of the jam. Schaefer v. Rannick. Sets, fires. First pitch, that one popped, foul out of play. Up on the hill in right field. 0-1's the count. Here comes the 0-1. Slider in the dirt, had him swinging. 0-2. Here comes the 0-2. Weakly hit. Foul ball. 0-2 still. Mifflin County's next game is going to be next Tuesday, 6:30 at night. So while you're out getting some supper on a Tuesday afternoon, hopefully we want to see you on MCTV Baseball. Strohacker giving chase in center field. 1 up, 1 down. Now batting, Abe Reinich. Chopped. Weakly. Left side of the infield. Throw over to first. Nice stretch by Smith. They're going to call him safe. They're going to say Smith got off the bag. Great play by Rubel. Gonna have a courtesy runner here. Number 33, Keaton Osborne. So they have their first base runner. They're going to roll an error against the Huskies. So Osborne at first has a lot of speed. Expect him to take off, but not this pitch. That one fouled right into the Husky dugout. 0-1's the count. If you're just joining us, Mifflin County had 2 on with nobody out. Then a fly out into right field, and a double play is what ended. The Huskies have already left 2 on base. Maddox Hobbs comes up to the plate. Third time's a charm, what they say. Checks back on the runner at first. Swings through strike 2. 0-2's the count. Oh, 2, 1 out. Sets, fires. That one high and wide for ball 1. The Huskies ended their first inning on a double play. Mifflin County trying to do the same on defense. That one ripped down the line. Nearly took out the third base coach. The cat-like reflexes over there. Duck out of the way of the ball. Maddox here's battling. Here comes the 1-2 once more. Swings at one in the dirt. Ew. Nasty would be an understatement on that one. 2 outs, runner on first. Off of Smith pulling his foot off the bag. Now coming up to the plate, Ramir Smith, third baseman / DH. So in case he gets pulled for defensive positioning, he will still be able to hit in the lineup. Hitting 7th. That one missed the outside corner. It's a 1-0 count. Fouled back. 1-1 count. 1-1, 2 outs. Runner on first after the error. That one hit, foul out of play. Schaefer trying to get out of the inning once more. Schaefer got called up from junior varsity to throw in this game. Mifflin County was running low on arms. They saw what he was doing in JV. We'll have twos across the board. It's not one missed low and away. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Top half of the second inning. You're watching MCTV Baseball. I'm Aiden Stevens here at Capodia's Field. Here's the 2-2. Take strike 3. Struck him out. Called up from JV, looking like a veteran out there. Mifflin County trying to get the bats going in the bottom half of the second. Don't go anywhere. You're watching MCTV Baseball. Welcome back to MCTV Baseball. For just joining us, we're through 1.5. Mifflin County and the Trojans from Mount Union are tied at 0-0. Mifflin County has 2 hits, 1 error. Takes ball 1 in the dirt. Kyle Shirey does. The shortstop, Junior, has showed up in so many situations. I could be wrong on this, but I believe he leads the team in RBIs. That one, in on the hands, holds back 2-0's in the count. Husky dugout supporting their friend. Here's the 2-0. Takes ball high. We'll go 3-0. 3 balls, no strikes to the shortstop. Here's the 3-0, almost auto take. Takes strike 1. Expect a similar outcome here unless Shirey gets an exact pitch that he likes. The count is 3-1. Sets, fires. That one ripped the other way. That'll be down for a single. Shirey reaches on going the other way, and Mifflin County has their 3rd hit through an inning. Now batting, Easton Lepley, the senior catcher. This guy in the last game, he absolutely demolished the ball. 360, maybe close to 400 feet, dare I say. All that for a double, because Mechanicsburg's center field is a lot. More than what Easton Lepley hit that. First pitch to Lepley. Takes strike 1. 0-1's the count. Oh, 1. Nobody out. Sets, fires. Lepley takes a ball high. That one looked pretty good to me, I can't lie. 1-1's the count. One, nobody out, runner on first. Lepley fouls that one back. 1-2's the count to the senior. Lepley steps into the right-handed hitting batter's box. Sets. and fires. Runner takes off for second. That one hit back up the middle. Runner's going to go from first to third on the hit and run. Perfect execution. Easton Lepley puts runners on the corners with nobody out for Lincoln Rubel. We're going to hear Parker Crownover. Lepley with a... You got to give credit there to Coach Ray Hopple. Called the hit and run. And, I mean, Lepley put it right where the second baseman was. Great execution, great call. Just overall, that's great situational baseball. 4 hits, 1 error through 3 outs. Runners on the corners, nobody out. Double play would score a run. Takes outside, ball 1. Chris Stein is on deck for the Huskies, the right fielder. Was a third baseman last year. Now moved out to the outfield. 1-0, nobody out. Runners on the corners. Mifflin County trying to break through here in the bottom of the second inning. That one gets by the glove. Has first run of the game. Runners on first and second, nobody out. Rubel gets it under the glove. Now we're going to have a time called here by Mount Union. Mifflin County 1 run, 5 hits, 1 error. Husky dugout is loud. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back on MCTV Baseball. We welcome you back after the timeout. First and second. Beamer on deck with Strohacker in the hole if we get there. So now the sun gets tucked away behind some clouds. Takes strike 1 on the outside part of the plate. That curveball has been lethal so far through this game. For both sides, really. For Rank and swings through strike 2. For Rank and Schaefer, that curveball's been one of their better pitches, if not their best. 0-2 to the senior right fielder. First 9 here in defense mode. Runner takes off. Popped off. Got to get back. That one lands on top of the dugout. First and second, expect the runners to maybe take off once more here. They did last time. Here comes the 0-2. Chris Stein fouls it back. He's hanging in there. Here comes the 0-2. Pickoff. Runner goes to third. They're going to want to call a balk. They're going to call him out. They're going to call a balk. Now the Mount Union coach is going to go talk to the umpire. Runners on second and third. Now the Mount Union coach is going to Mount Union coach cannot believe it. Count is still 0-2, but now there are 2 runners in scoring position. And the Husky dugout may have gotten even louder. Here comes the 0-2. That one hit to the shortstop. Weak dribbler. The play at the plate. He is saved. Ball gets away. Rubel's now going to come home. Mifflin County scores a second. It is 3-0. Chris Stein's on second. The bat flying at Capolia's field. Now Joel Beamer comes up to the plate. 3 already in the inning. My apologies. Nobody out. Beamer looks to squeeze a bunt down. Goes right back to the pitcher. Thought about going to third. Goes to first in time. Great sacrifice bunt. First out of the inning. But the runner moves up to third. I was talking a little bit with the coaches. Ever since I joined this team a season and a half ago almost, this is the best 2.5, 3 game stretch I've seen the Huskies hit so far. Ever since the end of the first Cedar Cliff game, that's a switch must have flipped. Strohecker, weakly to the shortstop. He's going to walk him back. 2 outs. Weaver got on base on a bunt last time up. Takes strike 1 on the outside part of the plate. The balk call that got overturned is the difference so far. That one in the dirt. 1-1's the count with 2 outs to the second baseman. Jaden Smith on deck for the Huskies if we get there. Making his season return. Making his first appearance since the District 6 championship game. Weaver popped that one fast. Got in on the hands on the curveball. 1-2's the count to the second baseman senior. 3 hits, 3 runs. 2 of them came via an error. He now has up to 26 errors on the season through 10 games and 2 innings. Here comes the 1-2. Weaver takes high. Almost went the side's better of it. We'll have 2s across the board. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runner on third to the 2-hitter in the second half of the second inning. That is a lot of 2s, folks. Husky dugout clapping it up for Weaver. Weaver hits one right field. That is foul. Just pulled it down the line a little too much. Got all of it. It would have been a double, and it would have scored Chris Stein. Chris Stein going on contact, though, with 2 outs in the inning. So we'll still have 2s across the board. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. 3 in the inning. 3 hits. An error by Mount Union has given the Huskies 2 of those hits. And a balk has put 2 in scoring position. Here comes the 2-2. Weaver fouled it back out of play. Hits off the catcher's mask. Seems fine. Weaver's fouled off the last 2. This will be the 7th pitch of the at-bat. Husky dugout clapping it up once more for their second baseman. Sets, fires. That one hit right field. Right fielder giving chase. Gets under it for the 3rd out. That'll end the second inning. Mifflin County adds on 3. Don't go anywhere. You're watching MCTV Baseball. Welcome back, MCTV Baseball. If you're just joining us, you missed a lot in the bottom half of the second. Mifflin County scored 3 off 3 hits with an error, and scored 2. Schaefer's first pitch of the inning popped somewhere out of play. Schaefer, the sophomore, sets fires. That one hit back up the middle. Schaefer, one hops it, throws over to first. Smith had his foot on the bag that time. That's the first out. Now batting the 9 here, Mason Swanger. Schaefer v. Swanger. Takes strike 1 on the fastball. Got the inside part of the plate. 0-1 count. Schaefer sets fires. All right, well, if one's across the board. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Top half of the 3rd inning. Huskies lead by 3. Sets, fires the 1-1. That one in the left-handed hitting batter's box. 2-1's a count. Sets, fires. Chopped foul out of play. 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Sets, fires. Takes high. We'll go full. Balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. 2 Swanger. Schaefer. The payoff pitch. Chopped weakly. Down the first base line. Smith's going to get there. Step on the bag. 2 outs. So the leadoff hitter comes back up to the plate for the first time today. Not going to say anything. Actually, I won't say anything yet. Take strike 1. Here comes the 0-1 from Schaefer to Collins. Curveball inside. 1-1's the count. Here comes the 1-1. Did he go? I'm going to say he did. Strike 2. 1-2's the count. 2 outs. Nobody on. Here comes the 1-2. Swings through strike 3. Struck him out. 3 hitless innings from Schaefer. Don't go anywhere. You're watching MCTV Baseball. Welcome back to MCTV Baseball. If you're just joining us, Liam Schaefer, through 3 innings, has not allowed a hit. The sophomore making his first varsity start. He's looking like a senior on senior night right now. Speaking of senior, Jaden Smith comes up to the plate. His second at bat in his senior season. Smith steps into the box. Here comes the 0-0. Smith swings. He swung for Narnia on that one. Got under it. 0-1's the count. Here comes the 0-2. Smith right to the second baseman for the out. 2 bats, 2 unlucky at bats for Smith. Right to 2 gloves. Can't make it up. Leister comes up to the plate, DHing for Schaefer. Leister has grounded out into a double play. 6-4-3 to end the first inning. Leister swings through strike 1. Here comes the 0-1. Takes ball 1. 1-1's the count with 1 out. Takes inside. 2-1's the count. Two balls, 1 strike to the DH. Fires. Takes ball 3. 3-1's the count. 3-1, 1 out. Nobody on. Sets. Delivers. Takes ball 4. Leister swinging at 2 pitches that, Hovel wasn't really, happy with. Plate discipline shown there. So now Shire comes up to the plate with Lepley on deck. First one hops the plate. 1 up. Here comes the 1-0. Takes ball 2. 2-0's the count. Here comes the 2-0. That one ripped foul out of play. 2-1. Two one out. Runner on first with Leister. Leister doesn't have the best speed on the team. Leister got thrown out at home in Mechanicsburg last time up. That one foul to play. 2-2's the count. Two, 1 out. Runner on first. The pitch to Shirey. Shirey hits one right center field. That is down into the gap. Shirey's most likely going to have another double. They're going to send Leister home. Leister rounding third base. The play at the plate. He is safe. Huskies add on another run. Leister turns on the wheels. First to home. It is 4-0 Huskies. Shirey, his 3rd RBI double of the season. Now Easton Lepley comes up to the plate with a runner in scoring position with 1 out. We know he has some pop. Takes strike 1 on the outside part of the plate. 0-1's the count to the senior catcher. Lepley poked one the other way. Got on base last time up. 0-1. Fires. Check swing. Goes right to first base coach Leister. Oh, 2 count to the catcher. Takes ball 1. 1-2's the count. Takes high and inside. 2-2's the count to the catcher. Lepley swings through strike 3. Rubel already has an RBI on the game. Here comes the first pitch to Rubel. Takes in the dirt. Shire will stay over at second. Here comes the 1-0. Rubel hits roughly to the shortstop. Fires over to first in time for the third out. When we come back, top of the fourth inning, don't go anywhere. You're watching MCTV Baseball. Two, three, four due up here in the top half of the fourth. If you're just joining us, we welcome you to MCTV Baseball. My name's Aiden Stevens. It is a pleasure having you here on this beautiful Friday here at Capolias Field. Leading off, Parker Snyder, the second baseman. Here comes the first pitch. Take strike 1. Little bit of horizontal run right there, but still a great pitch nonetheless. Found the top of the zone. 1-0's the count. That one, right field. Christine getting under it for the first out of the inning. Outfield has a major shift to the left. I don't know if Coach Hopple was exaggerating this, but I'm going to go off what he said. At the plate currently, Hunsinger. He said he has 45 at-bats that he's recorded from Hunsinger. That one nearly got him in the head. One's across the board. But he said 43 of them were to left field. So you have pretty much the whole outfield shifting about 8 feet to the left. Or to their right, my apologies. Beautiful slider. 1-2's the count. One, two. 1 out. Top half of the fourth. Low and away. 2-2's the count. Mifflin County has only allowed 1 base runner. That was on an error. That one clubbed the left field. It's foul. Just barely. By about less than a foot, I'd say. 2-2 is still the count. That just shows he pulls it down the left field line. Here comes the 2-2 pitch from Schaefer. That one spiked it into the turf. 3-2's the count. The dugout will erupt if Schaefer's able to get this strikeout. Here's the payoff pitch. Chopped foul. We'll do it again. Here comes the 3-2 from Schaefer once more. He struck him out on the high eight. Another strikeout for Schaefer. He's gone through 3 2/3, almost with ease, dare I say. Not to jinx him, because it's exactly whenever you jinx a guy. Here comes first pitch. That one's in the dirt. Ball 1. Swings through a strike 1. 1-1's the count. That one chopped down the third base line. They're going to call it fair. Throw over to first. In time for the out. Jaden Smith with a great stretch. 4 hitless innings for Liam Schaefer when we return. Bottom half of the 4th. We welcome you back to MCTV Baseball. If you're just joining us, my name's Aiden Stevens. We've gone through 7 halves of the 14.5 innings here. About halfway through. We're only 50 minutes, not even an hour into this game. So this game flying by. Reese Christine comes up to the plate. Mifflin County leads by 4. 6 hits, 1 error for each team. That error, because Smith pulled his foot off the bag, and it was close. I personally thought he got it on, but not enough. That one's high in the sky. Lands on the sidewalk. But nonetheless, it's the only base runner Schaefer is allowed. Christine, almost identical pitch. That one got in on the hands a little too much. 0-2 count. Here comes the 0-2 pitch to Christine. Christine golfs one, and it gets by the shortstop for a base hit. Christine thought about 2. He'll head back to first. Christine gets on base once more. Beamer comes up to the plate. Strohecker on deck. The Huskies are able to pull out of this week playing teams that they did not beat at all last season. They went 0-5 against these teams. That one's going to get away. Beamer's going to pull that bunt back. Christine's on second base with ease. But Mifflin County went 0-5 last season against the teams they played this week. They played 4. They're able to come out of here 3-1 with their only loss coming to arguably pitcher in the mid-pen, Peyton Price. That would be a very good week, and especially after the Chambersburg loss. That one, ball outside, 2-0 is the count. Christine took about a third of a steal and then said, I'm going to better go back just in case. 2-0 is the count. That one loped down the line. It's fair. No throw anywhere. Beamer's on first base with Strohecker coming up to the plate. Strohecker has a chance to add on to this lead. 2-on, nobody out. Same situation in the first inning. Mifflin County did not score in that inning, however. Takes high and outside for ball 1. 1-0's the count. Weaver on deck. Then Smith in the hole for the Huskies. Strohecker 1 for 2. Takes low, 2-0. Strohecker, an all-state second team for his performance in the 2025 campaign. It's the leadoff hitter last season, and he's really stepped off pickoff back to second, and without question. First and second, nobody out, bottom half of the fourth. Huskies lead by 4 with 8 hits and 1 error. Strohecker with a swinging bunt, throw over to first in time. Strohecker doing great sack bunt there. Weaver is 2 in scoring with 1 out. Infield is playing in for Weaver with Smith on deck. Unless a sack fly turned into a double play, that's the only way. Realistically, I see Mount Union getting 2 outs on this play, so Smith is almost expected to be due up. Weaver does his late bat circle. Here's the first pitch. That one just missed the top part of the zone. 1-0 is the count. Here comes the 1-0. That one. Inside. 2-0 is the count. Two on, 1 out. 2-0's the count to the 2-hitter. Infield playing in. 2-0. Takes strike 1. 2-1's the count. That one nearly hit him. 3-1's the count. Huskies clapping it up for their second baseman. 3-1's the count. Weaver almost in auto take mode. To 3-1, but we'll see. Takes high. The bases are loaded for Jaden Smith. Smith 0 for 2 with a fly out to second and a line out to the, or fly out to the right, line out to second. My apologies. Smith looking for his first hit of the season. I don't think now could be a better time. Takes ball 1. One is the count. Leishner on deck. Leishner scored from first in the last inning. Comes the pitch to Smith. Smith ropes one to third. They go home with it for one. It's the only out they'll get. Smith will reach on a fielder's choice. Two outs, bases jammed. Leishner now comes up to the plate with a chance to blow this game wide open. Take strike one. Leishner reached on a walk last time up, and he scored from first on Shire's double, which he's on deck. Here comes the 0-1. Takes high. 1-1. Bases juiced. Here's the 1-1. Sets and delivers. That one hit down the third base line. Tough play. He is out at third. That'll end the fourth inning. Schaefer trying to go 3 up, 3 down once more in the fifth. Don't go anywhere. You're watching MCTV Baseball. We welcome you back to Capolia's Field on MCTV Baseball. If you're just joining us, you have missed a lot. You missed 4 innings. Mifflin County leads 4-0. 3 of those came in the bottom half of the second. But Mifflin County has had bases and runners in scoring position every single inning. They only have 4. So now, what this man on the mound has been the story to talk about so far. 4 hitless innings for Schaefer. He's got 5, 6, and 7 due up in the inning. We'll start with Reich. Here comes the first pitch. That one popped out of play. 0-1's the count. It'll be Reich, Hobbs, and Smith due up. Bottom half of the frame. And the top half of the fifth, my apologies. Mifflin County gets a little bit of rest until Tuesday, their next game. Curveball rolled over down the third base line. Will be foul. 0-2's the count. The count. Sets, fires. Takes outside. 1-2. Here comes the 1-2. That one hit over the third baseman's head, and the no-hitter is no more. I'll take the responsibility on that. I jinxed him. That's on me. We're going to have a courtesy runner here. We're going to give you some scores around the league. Everybody has, not everybody, but 4 teams have games, if you include the Huskies. And all of them are non-league. Comes the first pitch, swings through strike. Shed right there. Cedar Cliff is playing Manion Township. Tied through 3.5. Takes inside. 1-1's the count. Here's the 1-1. Swings through strike 2. 1-2's the count. That one. Hit down the line. 5, 4. Then time safe at the bag. Nearly a great double play there, but they'll get the one out. The runner. Huskies got the lead runner. So close to getting 2. That double play would have summed up the Huskies game so far, and really this week. Here comes the first pitch. That one rounded down the line. 3, that one. So it's down the first base line. Smith picked it up, stepped on the bag, threw it over to second, did not get the runner. So we have 2 out, runner on second. So Cedar Cliff and Manion Township are tied at 0. Check up on Chambersburg. 9-1. They play no score right now, actually. So out one high. 1-0's the count. One knows the count. Sets, fires, swings through the changeup. 1-1's the count. Schaefer delivers the 1-1. Popped up. Someone's going to call it. It'll be Rubel over at third. Gets under it for the third out. 5 innings, 1 hit baseball. Mifflin County adds on when we return. We welcome you back to the bottom of the 5th inning. Huskies are 6 outs away from getting revenge on Mount Union from last season. Here's the first pitch to Shirey. Shirey rips that one foul. Shirey already has an RBI double this game. It's 3rd of the season, that one. Outside. 1-1 count. Here comes the 1-1 to Shirey. Takes ball low. 2-1's the count. Called strike 2. 2-2's the count. Nobody out. In the bottom half of the 5th. Takes high. We'll go full. Takes strike three. Shirey thought it was ball four. That'll be the first out of the inning. Lepley comes up to the plate. Here comes the first pitch to Lepley. Lepley popped. Foul out of play. And they hit it off each other. It'll drop down. And Lepley will get another swing. Lepley's practically given a second life here in this at bat. Here comes pitch Outland. Right fielder giving chase. Under it for the out. 2 out in the bottom half of the fifth. Mifflin County leads 4-0 on 8 hits, 1 error. The Trojans have 1 hit, 1 error. That 1 error scored 2 runs for the Huskies. Mifflin County has allowed 2 base runners all game. Great defense, great pitching. Overall, just a great performance from the Huskies. Rubel's going to pop one up, and this should be a quick inning. 3 up, 3 down for the Huskies. When we return, top of the 6th inning, Schaefer goes one more. We welcome you back to the top half of the 6th inning. Mifflin County leads 4-0. 6 outs away. Schaefer is from a first varsity start, 1-hit performance, complete game. No matter what, he deserves a round of applause for this performance tonight. Here comes the first pitch. Popped up. That'll be out of play. Here comes the 0-1. Take strike 2. 0-2 count. Sets and fires. That one popped foul to play. Right in front of our scorers table. Wind picks up for the first time here tonight. 0-2 is still the count. Pitch. 5 outs away. Another strikeout for Schaefer. And I'm telling you what, Schaefer's performance here today has earned him another start. Takes ball 1. 1-0 is the count. That one. Chopped to third. Throws over to first. In time for the out. 4 more outs. They're going to check it to see if my apologies. Smith pulled his foot off the bag. They're going to call him out. Now batting, Parker Snyder. Here comes the first pitch. Popped out of play. Oh, 1 count. Schaefer sets and fires. That one gets through the 3-4 gap. Second hit of the game allowed for Schaefer. Two outs. Runner on first. Take strike 1. Pretty much down the middle. Here's the 0-1. Schaefer sets, fires. That one chopped to third. Rubel throws it over to first. Got him out on the tag, and that'll end the inning. Schaefer 3 outs away from a complete game 2 hitter. Don't go anywhere. You're watching MCTV Baseball. We welcome you back to MCTV Baseball. My name's Aiden Stevens. We welcome you to the bottom of the 6th inning. Huskies lead by 4. They have 8 hits, 4 runs, 1 error. And the Trojans only have 2 hits, 1 error, and 0 runs. 8-9-1 due up in the order for this inning. Chris Knight comes up to the plate. We know Chris Knight has a lot of power. He had the only home run last season for the Huskies, and that was at Bald Eagle area high. Hit one well over the left center field wall as the wind. Hello. Chris Knight pulls a bunt down. Will be a dead ball. Now the gust of wind dies down, and that's I jinxed it. Christine rips one down the left field line. It is foul. Christine ripped it. He's on it. Here comes the 0-2 to Christine. Takes low in the dirt, ball one. 1-2's the count. Here comes the 1-2. That one chopped down the line. Will go foul. Up on the third baseman. Nearly had a run in. Christine battling. He's a little early, pulling it down the third base line. 1-2's the count. Beamer and then Strohacker are due up in the inning. Swing, strike three. Beamer now comes up to the plate. Nine and one, still due up left in the inning. Takes high and inside, ball one. Here comes the 1-0. That one ripped down the right field line. It is foul. Here comes the 1-1. Take strike two. The 1-2 to Beamer. Takes outside. 2-2's the count. Good pitch, better take. Beamer sets. That's the. Yeah, we'll go with that. Beamer set up for a swing. Takes ball three. Count goes full. That one hit weakly to the shortstop. Throw over to first. In time for the out. Now Ivan Strohacker comes up to the plate. Here comes the first pitch to Strohacker. Takes strike one. Now Strohacker goes. Comes the 0-1 to Strohacker. Strohacker chops one to third. That gets off the glove. No throw. Strohacker beats it out. He'll reach on an error. Now Madden Weaver comes up to the plate. That one just a bit outside. 1-0's the count. Here comes the 1-0. Weaver pulls back the bunt. He'll go from first to second. Strohacker around second. He will stay there. Runner in scoring position 2-0 count. Smith on deck if we get there. Smith 0 for 2 and reaching on a fielder's choice. Weaver takes strike one on the outside part of the plate. 2-1's the count to the second baseman senior. Here comes the 2-1. Weaver pokes that one foul. Two's across the board. Runner on second. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Smith on deck if we get there. Takes ball low. Mountain Union coach cannot believe it. We'll go full. Three balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Weaver chops at the first. Fumbles with the ball. That'll be the third out of the inning. When we return, top half of the 7th. Don't go anywhere. You're watching MCTV Baseball. Welcome me back to MCTV Baseball. My name's Aiden Stevens. Top half of the 7th inning due up. Huskies are 3 outs away from a 2-hitter. Ladies and gentlemen, as there's ball 1, we have a special guest here with us. One of MCTV's own, We have Colston Divin here. He does softball. He did basketball and football with me. That one absolutely clubbed left field. Left fielder getting under it, chasing, and that'll be the first out of the inning. Colston, first baseball game that you've been here for the season. You're recording for the sports video. What have you seen so far from the Huskies?
Hello everyone. I'm going to be live for the first time, and it feels like a month anyway, at least for baseball. I've liked what I've seen out of the Huskies. Obviously, only allowing 2 hits, 2 errors, so they're equal in that against the Central Mountain team that beat Mifflin County last year. It's a good bounce back for them. If they can get 2 more outs, this game is over. So they do get themselves back in the win column, and we'll tell you all about it, who they play next, their new record. That's if things go accordingly. That one is popped up high once again to left field, and he'll grab it. 1 out to go for Mifflin County. We'll send you back over to Aiden.
Thank you, Colston. Colston, with me being a senior, you being a junior, this might be you next season. We don't know. There's still 2026, 2027 year is still a blur right now. We got to get through this year. But the Huskies 1 out away from bouncing back, falling back from 1-3 to winning their next 3. That one clubbed out of play down the left field line. Mifflin County will improve to 4-3. Their next game will be this coming Tuesday, where the Huskies travel for their one and only night game of the season, where they take on Cumberland Valley. It's their strike 2. Schaefer is one strike away from a first start, 2-hit performance. Complete game. Here comes the 0-2. That's blocked in the dirt. Take on Cumberland Valley, 6:30 Eastern starting time. So, grab your dinner, Hope to see you there. Husky dugout clapping it up for the last time, hopefully. The 1-2. Club. Left field. Beamer gets under it. That is the game. A 2-hit performance from Schaefer, and he's earned himself another game in the starting rotation. We thank you all for watching MCTV Baseball. I'm Aiden Stevens. We will see you this coming Tuesday night where the Huskies take on the Eagles from Cumberland Valley. Be safe and have a great rest of your weekend.